Hello everyone, Andredesignz here with a new retouch video. Alright, so today we're going to be retouching one of these images. Alright, so I was shooting natural light. I was using I believe it was the 50mm lens. Oh yeah, as you can see right here, it was a 50mm lens I was shooting as a f4, and the shutter speed was 200 of a second. Alright, so I'm going to be selecting one of these images that I have never edited before and make some edit. So this is my lovely model Monique. I should put her Instagram name on the screen or in the description. I think I might edit this one. I like this one. No, I'm not going to edit this one. I want to edit one with the horse. I wonder if this tells a story, if there's a connection between her and the horse. Alright, I'm going to go back up to this is what happens sometimes. Sometimes when you have a lot of great images, it's hard for you to make a selection for one of those images. I think I'm going to edit this one. I like this one. So I'm just going to go over to Photoshop and edit it. Okay. Alright, so now I'm in Photoshop. So the first thing I'm going to do is to ensure that my image is level. So I'm going to Control T and then Control Alt and pull the sides and then try to straighten it a little bit. I think that's level. Let me just pull down the what's happening here, the ruler, and see it's level right here. Good. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now is the first thing I'm gonna do is to go to camera raw. So it's Control Shift A, and then I'm gonna try auto. Auto looks good-ish, but I'm gonna do the adjustments myself. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna make some adjustments to the color in the background for the green. So I'm gonna come over to the HSL adjustment. I'm gonna be under hue, and then I'm gonna come down to the greens, and I'm going to change it to a hurt tone. It could be green or earth tones. I'm going to bring the greens over to the brownish color. Then the yellows, I'm going to play with it a little bit. Might just put it right here. Alright, so I'm done with that. So I'm going back over to the basics, and then I'm going to play with my blacks a bit. Alright, and then I'm going to play with my shadows. I'm going to right here. Highlights, I don't think I need to play with the highlights, but I'm just going to touch it a little bit and see. The highlights is in it adjusts the background right here. Oh, that's contrast. Put it back to 0. Alright, highlights. Alright, highlights is good. Clarity, just a little bit. Let me bring my shadows up a little bit more so I can get some more highlights in her skin. I think I'm done. So I'm gonna okay. So let's look at the before and after. Hold on Alt on your keyboard and then click the eye. So that's the before, that's the after. Before, after. Alright. The next step now is to work on the skin. So in the description you're able to download the action, any one of these actions except for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so I'm gonna do dodge and burning. So this is not dodge and burning. I'm gonna do frequency separation. Alright, so I'm going to go to the frequency separation 16-bit because I was working on a 16-bit image. I am working on a 16-bit image. Normally a raw image is a 16-bit image, and JPEG is normally 8 bit, my understanding. Alright, so I'm gonna go with the 16-bit action. 16-bit. My radius, I always work at 10. I don't really know the difference, but my understanding is that you should always ensure that the radius is high enough so you can't see any detail in the skin. Alright, so not really seeing any detail right now in the skin. Alright, so okay. Then on the low frequency layer, I'm going to get my mixer brush. It's right here. Ensure that the wetness is at 2. Ensure that this brush is highlighted. That one. And make sure this one is unclicked as well. So this one is what cleared the brush. So this option here that says clear brush, once you hit this, it will clear the brush. For all the other settings, this is default. I did not make any adjustment to them. Now I'm going to zoom into my image. Hold on the space bar on the keyboard to move it. And I'm going to start brushing the skin. Alright, the mixer brush, what it does, it allows you to flatten an area on the skin or even out the image itself. Alright, so using the bracket on the keyboard, I'm just going to wait, what's happening? Let me undo that. Let me come here and clear the brush. Alright, let's try this now. So I've always said this in my videos, when you're working with the mixer brush, you work in one particular area before you go to the other. For example, if you're working on the dark areas, stay in the dark areas, mix in the dark areas. When you go to the lighter area, you stay in the lighter area. You don't want to mix both of them, but there are some times that you have to mix them just to flatten or to, what's that word, combine or to match or to, I don't remember that word, but yeah, there are times you have to go from the dark area to the bright area when you're mixing. Alright, so right here. So I didn't have a makeup artist for this shoot. She did her own makeup, which was quite fine with me, because I was going for a natural look, and because, you know, I know exactly what I want, it's easier for me to edit the image. Most times, for most of my shoots, I know exactly how I'm going to edit the images, so it's not a long process for the editing. Let's look at the before and after now. So Alt to the eye. Actually no, I'm gonna use this right here, before, after. So it's evening out the skin. Yeah, that's the word I was trying to remember. Even out the skin. So sometimes you have to go from the dark area to the bright area to even out the skin. We come down to our chest. Alright. So you see where the light is hitting in this area here. So I'm just mixing this area, come down. And then this area, we have a little shadow. So I'm going to mix there. And then this area has a little shadow as well. And when you're doing dodge and burn, it's the same principle. You stay in the lighted area when you're doing the contour. And when you're doing the highlighting, you stay in the light area. So you want the skin to look as natural as possible. So that's the reason why you use the mixer brush and not using an option where you blur the skin or anything like that. Let's look at the before and after. Alright, see I made a little mistake right here. So what happened is that the mixer brush came over here, and this is what happened. So I'm going to press E on the keyboard for my eraser tool. My eraser tool is too doing too much. I'm gonna bring down the flow for the eraser tool a little bit. Good. That works. Alright, let me come back down here, get my mixer brush again, and then I'm gonna work on her thigh. I wish I had done a behind the scene for this photo shoot. And at that time though, I wasn't thinking of doing behind the scenes for my shoots, so maybe that's the reason why I didn't, you know, do one for this one. But for all my shoots that I'll be doing, all my personal shoots, I'll be doing a behind the scene. So stay tuned to my channel, guys, and you'll definitely see those behind the scene. I did a wedding recently, and I haven't edited the photos yet, but I have a behind the scene for it, so should be uploading that pretty soon. Alright, so let's look at the before and after now. Before, after. Alright, so as I said, we want to keep the image looking natural. The skin should not look fake, and that's my aim for this image. So what we're going to do now is to work on the blemishes. We're going to remove them. So we're going to go to the high frequency layer. Then I'm going to come over to my stamp tool. I'm going to press S on the keyboard. My flow is going to be at 100%. And then I'm going to use the bracket on the keyboard to enlarge the brush. And then I'm going to hold on control and click an area where I'd like to sample from and paint over the blemishes. Alright. Alright, that looks good. Let's go over this side. I'm going to get my brush a little bit smaller. You have to be careful where you are sampling from. If you sample from a light area and the affected area is in a dark area, you're going to have problems. You're going to see the difference. Alright, that looks good so far. And another key thing, and I always say this in my videos, that when you're editing, you should take your time, because if you rush to edit your image, you're going to miss a lot of blemishes, a lot of things that need to be corrected. You're going to miss them. There are times I finish edit my images and I have to go back over it. Well, just to remove a few little things, because you know, what I've learned as well is that when you're editing your images, sometimes it's best for you to edit, then stop, do something else, and then come back to the image. You know, because when you come back to the image, you'll definitely pick up on stuff that you've missed. So it's good to you know, not stare at the screen for a long time. You should have other things doing while you're editing, so your eyes can actually adjust. Alright, so I guess that's it. Let me come down to her arm, down lower part of her hand. Let's make some adjustment there. That looks good. I'm gonna get rid of the vein. Oh, I'm also thinking of doing a series for a bikini shoot. Seeing that it's summer, before summer actually ends, I want to do some bikini shoots. Do some behind the scene, because most of you are saying that I'm only editing beauty images. So you want to see images with full body models, you know, because most of you are doing bikini shots, I haven't done a bikini photo shoot in a long time. Yeah, I used to do it a lot, but you know, I wanted to try something different, so I haven't done it in a long time. But definitely, I'm gonna get some models, and I'm just gonna do some personal shoots with bikini. I found some really nice locations that I really want to use. I drive past them like every day. Well, not every day, but sometimes when I'm going outside of town, I see some really nice beach location where I could actually shoot. So I'm definitely going to use that opportunity to go there and do a behind the scene, and also, you know, do some editing so you guys can see how I edit my photos for bikini shoots. Alright, so I'm just gonna make some edits to the horse. Just get rid of his scars. Alright, that looks good. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do right now is to go to my dodge and burn option here. And then I'm going to start working with the... I'm going to start burning the image. So I'm going to press B on my keyboard for the brush. I'm going to put it at 1%. And then I'm going to zoom in my image again. I'm going to start working from the face. So I'm gonna start a contouring now. Alright, I'm gonna go up to the dodge for the highlighting. Highlight the forehead a little bit, under the eyes. Alright, let's look at it before and after. Good. Go under the chin. Well, the chin. And then right here. I'm going to come down a little bit under her neck. Alright. Then the collarbone right here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And then do the arm. I brush a little bit bigger. So the dodging and burning is basically what shapes your image. I give it that high quality look, you know. I'm gonna get my dodge. I'm gonna get my burn. So I keep messing up. I think I may have to get the eraser tool for right here. Alright, so the secret with the well, not secret, but a good tip is to, you know, follow where the light is. So if you see where here is dark, you're just going to burn it. And then if you see where a certain area has a bright color or a bright light highlight, you just highlight it. That's the secret, or that's the tip that you should, or that's the course you should follow when you're doing dodge and burning. Alright, let me zoom out a little bit and then do a before and after. Before, after. Like, look at the arm. Look at this. See that? It gives it a dimension right now, you see? So it looks really awesome. Alright, so there are times though when I notice that it's overdone. I don't really turn down the opacity. What I do is to go back to the frequency separation layer and go back to the low frequency separation layer, get my mixer brush, and then just to even out it a little bit, I just do this. So it looks a little bit, it looks more natural. are blended, you know. And if that doesn't help, you can always go back and make the adjustment like that. But I don't really like adjusting it. Why I don't like adjusting it is because there are times when I do not make a duplicate, it adjusts the face or somewhere else where I don't really want to have a low opacity, you know. So that's it basically. Alright, so I am basically done with dodge and burning and that good stuff. What I'm going to do now is to continue coloring the image. So I'm going to go down here, and then I'm going to go to color balance, and go down to shadow, and then I'm going to put this at about 5. Alright, so this is my signature look, guys. If you've been watching all my videos, you notice that I always follow the same step when I'm doing the coloring of my images. So you want your images to look consistent. You don't want to have this color and that color, you know, when somebody go on your profile. You know, it's best to have a certain pattern, and this will come over time. It does not come right away. You know, you have to edit until you find what color scheme you want to work with. So this is basically what I like doing. Alright, I'm gonna go back down here, go to the contrast. Contrast is going to be 24. Alright, I'm gonna Control Shift Alt E to create a new layer, then Control J, and then Control Shift A for the what's this again, the camera. And I'm gonna make some more adjustment to the color. So the temperature, I'm gonna bring the temperature up a little bit, maybe about 2. Then the vibrancy, I'm gonna bring it up some more, right there. That's it. I don't think I need to do anything more. Let's look at the before and after now. So I'm gonna go back down here. I'll hold on Alt on the keyboard and press the I. So that's the before, that's the after. That's the before, and that's the after. Alright, so I'm done with this image. So the next step now is to save this image to my computer and then upload it to Instagram. And then I'm gonna advise you guys that a new video is out, so you should go and watch it, like it, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you can get more so you can get alerts each time I upload a new video. Alright guys, so that's basically it. Look out for the behind the scene portrait session from a wedding I did recently. Thank you guys for watching.